All right, guys, welcome. Let me talk about this Boleos thing, this drugs problem that we have in Sierra Leone across West Africa. All right, I want to share this with you guys because what I've seen, there is a trend in Sierra Leone where it seems like the Northerners or folks from other tribes are allowing themselves to be used, in this drug trade in Sierra Leone. So what is happening now is I see um a sort of a a collision coming around where all the people that are being captured with this drug situation in Sierra Leone, when you look at their names, when you hear the names, it's mostly Northerners. So I saw this video that I want to play first. It's two videos just to prove this point that I'm going to share with you guys first, so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. When I say it seems like the Northerners or other ethnic groups in Sierra Leone are being used as a scapegoat to say that they are the drug mules in Sierra Leone. They are the ones that are responsible for the drug operations in Sierra Leone, because that is the message that is being pushed by the illegal Bio regime. And that is why I showed you guys a photo of, an Escroma, Julius Marabio. And I was going to do a live about Anis Kurma, by the way, but I said, let me leave that for now. Julius Marabio and his daughter, I'm going to share a couple of videos because I want to refresh the memory of the government officials in Sierra Leone that are playing footsie with this drug situation. They're acting like they're champions. They think we're not seeing what they're doing. And I want to expose them so they know that we see what they're doing. Because drug trade in any country starts from the top. And when you have a country like Sierra Leone where the drug dealer, Boleos, is currently, having, dine with the first family, that means he's dining with Julius Marabio to the point where they have a child. He now has a child with Julius Marabio's daughter, Agnes Bio. They have a child that was born in New York. The fact that it has gotten that deep, it tells you the problem of drugs is at the top. Because the drug barons, just like in Guinea-Bissau, they've made provisions for them. So the first video I want to share with you guys, they caught 4 guys who allowed somebody to come in with drugs through the airport. And I want you to see how the, investigators in Sierra Leone are handling this. And I want you to listen to the names of the 4 guys at the airport that were caught, taking a bribe to allow somebody to smuggle drugs, into the airport. So I'm going to start with this first video, and so you guys can see what I'm saying. And then we'll take it from there. All right. I'm going to share this first video. Let's listen together and let's take it from there.
To say that now we not just left this thing so. Why person for in first place forget the guts for attempt for use of airports for traffic drugs and give bad name to the country? It go must be say we get some insiders them where they support. Now we do a clean up. Now we airport. Now we investigate. We are not in a hurry. And when we don't investigate, we don't get several people that we custody. And they talk about 4. Adams Peter Seri, then the terminal building manager. We get Abubakar Kamara, security manager, all airport. They will get Lawrence Dumbuya, na the baggage scanner, na level 3, the highest level. And one Mohamed Lamin of the financial intelligence agencies. We don't arrest them because we don't get reasonable grounds for suspecting then collude, aid and abet that Abid there for try for smuggle cocaine through the airport for giving country back then. And so far, as I say, I know they discuss the nitty-gritties of the evidence, not for the courts, now they are the presenter, but suffices to say that we don't get some admissions from the suspect. In fact, they don't tell we see the money where they pay them now $20,000, and then tell me how then Sheban would I get 5, would I get 4, and so on and so forth. And some of them, one don't say he get bad dream, eat the money, so he owe $5,000, he don't surrender to the police. The other one is say,
all right, let me stop it right there. But this is what I want to tell you guys, and I want you to listen attentively, okay? Because again, like I said, if you listen to all the names that were called, Adams Pitaseri, Abubakar Kamara, Lawrence Dumbuya, Mohamed Lamin. You see, I'm sending this out because I want these brothers to know that if you were from any other part of the country, any other tribe, you are going to be the scapegoat for the SLPP in this current drug trade, because they have to show the world that they are fighting it, and they're not going to prosecute none of their Southeasterner brothers that are involved. Like all of the other people in that airport, it's not just Northerners working there. We know they've filled the airport with their Southeasterner brothers, and they are part of this trade as well. They are all part of this system. They are all part of the same folks that are allowing these drugs to come through. But they're gonna use you as a Northerner. So you see, if you guys feel like you're gonna be, part of this, and you're gonna, make a living, they're using you as a bait, as a scapegoat, and they're gonna get you guys, and they're using. Look at the names that they're calling. And like I said again, I have another video of a lady who was, chased recently, and I want us to listen to this together again. Another Northerner lady. So let's listen to this, because I want you guys to understand exactly what is happening. And for you to be part of the drug trade alone in itself, for you to allow, because I know it's a thing where everybody feels like, man, Namigo left, I have to get my own, I have to get what I could get, so, hey, who knows if they set you up with this $20,000 as a bribe? They know you guys are all Northerners, so they lined you all up from baggage and everything. They say, these are the Northerners, use them. These are the people that we're going to prosecute for the drug trade in Sierra Leone. They're not prosecuting nobody else that is Southeasterner. Don't tell me there is no other, Southeasterners in that airport that are involved in the smuggling of drugs or allowing the smuggling of drugs in and out. Talk about the water key, right? For all I care. Who's in charge of the water key? Yakuba Bio. Do you see them prosecuting these guys? No. Julius Marabio. And I'm going to come to that. Julius Marabio's daughter is with Bole. Bole Yost, the biggest drug lord in Europe. Matter of fact, the past 2 days, Julius Marabio was, the meetings that he had at, G20 and all of that. These were conversations that everybody's harassing this man, saying, when are you going to hand over your son-in-law? Because now they know he's the son-in-law to Julius Marabio. Bole Yost, the biggest drug lord who's wanted by the Dutch government. But I'm telling you guys this, and I'm drawing your attention to this. If you're Northerner and you think, you're going to be part of this, you get it coming, because they're going to set you all up. Who knows if this is a setup in itself to say, let's get them. They've been trying to get rid of you guys anyways. You're all Northerners. They don't want you at the airport. They want to control the operations at the airport. Now, this is an opportunity to get rid of you guys, and they can put their Southeasterner brothers in those positions. And then the smuggling operation, goes full-fledged. Because we all know Julius Marabio is in charge. Even though he's the illegal president, but he's in charge of the nation. And I've always given you guys examples. China, Singapore, zero tolerance for drugs. Those two countries, they catch you with drugs, you are going to die. You'll be killed. You'll be executed. It's capital punishment. There's no jokes there, because the state takes it very seriously. But in Sierra Leone, if the president's daughter is dating the biggest drug lord in Europe, hey, tell me, who's in charge? So all of you guys, you Northerners that are putting your hands in this, instead of leaving it to them, let them keep doing what they're doing until justice comes one day. You get your hands involved in this foolishness, you will pay dearly. And that's what they're doing to you all. They're going to keep setting you up. And all the videos we're going to see on social media is going to be Northerner names, or from other parts of the country, Western and Northwesterners, and, Westerners, Northerners. We're going to only see your names in this fight against the drug epidemic in Sierra Leone, because they have to prove a point that it's not them. And when they are the kingpins, actually involved and engaged in the drug activity. Let's watch this next video. Listen to the name of the person in question, so you can see how I'm telling you that it's all Northerners that are going to be used as scapegoats. They're going to come after you Northwesterners to ensure that they use you to sell the agenda to the world that you guys are responsible for bringing drugs in Sierra Leone. Listen to this other video.
14 November 2025, a police intelligence unit moved into
Let me start this all
Sugarland.
over again.
On Monday, 14 November 2025, a police intelligence unit moved into Sugarland, Peninsula, Godrich. Their target was resident of one woman, Patricia Mansare, currently on the run.
What is the name again of the person? Patricia Mansare. Patricia Mansare, a Northwesterner. But listen to the rest of the story. Even though I don't care about the rest of the story, but I'm telling you, Northwesterners, you are going to be the sacrificial lamb in this fight against drugs in Sierra Leone, even though you're not responsible for the major operations of the drugs coming into Sierra Leone. But they're going to use you guys. All of you that are enjoying the drugs money, you're a Northwesterner. You are going to be the sacrificial lamb. You are going to be the ones that will sacrifice just to prove a point that it's you guys that are doing drugs and it's not them. But again, like I said, listen to this a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about.
Acting on credible intelligence, officers conducted a thorough search of her premises. What they discovered raised even more questions about her activities. Inside the house, investigators find 4 black plastic bags, each filled with loose quantities of shredded leaves believed to be illegal substances. They also recovered a 9mm pistol made in Italy with serial number 270.
All right. All that is not material to me. What I wanted to show you guys is the fact that when you listen to the names, all of the names you're hearing in this current fight, it's going to be nothing but names. Now, Adams Peter Seri, Northwesterner. Abubakar Kamara, Northwesterner. Lawrence Dumbuya, Northwesterner. Mohamed Lamin, Northwesterner. Beatrice Mansari, Northwesterner. So this is what is actually happening. And I just wanted to call your attention to it so you guys could see exactly what the play is, because you guys are very foolish and you're stupid enough to fall for this. All of the prosecution so far, it has been nothing. I've been paying attention to that very closely and watching because I know they're going to play games with us. But when we know the facts, when we know the reality, we know the truth, we know what is actually happening in Sierra Leone, we know that Boleos is in Sierra Leone and he is with the president, Julius Marabio. He is close to the family of Julius Marabio. We know that for a fact. We see it. But yet you guys are falling for that foolishness and that nonsense.
Probably shouldn't review.
You're falling for that nonsense. And we've time and time again, you've seen publications done by our friends and our brothers in the international community. This was a report done by Africa Confidential, a special report. President Bio keeps cocaine lord in the family. So when these guys are telling you that they're fighting drugs, the question you should ask yourself is, why is Julius Marabio still the president in Sierra Leone? Why is Admire Bio, who is dating Boleos, as you can see on the screen here, free? She's probably in America. She's probably in New York, having the best time of her life. So why are they free? It's the question you should ask yourself. But no, these guys, security agencies, because that's the other point I want to point out, they're playing footsie with us. They think we're stupid. They think we don't know what is going on. You guys remember this, right, on Twitter? The video of these two, Era Star and Tiwa Savage, coming to Sierra Leone to perform for Agnes Bio and Boleos. The video is out there. This was on Twitter that I put it out on Twitter. You guys know about that. Of course, you guys know about the picture in church of Julius Marabio, Boleos, and Agnes Bio right there. The rest of the family hanging behind the president. You guys know about that. But then these security agencies, they're playing games with us. They said they're raiding for drugs. They're chasing the drug people. But Julius Marabio, the president, who is in charge, illegally occupying office since June 24th, 2023. Look at his family in church with Boleos. And these security agents are acting like they don't know what they're doing. But they know exactly what they're doing. So I say again, who's fooling who? What is the point they're trying to make? They think the people are stupid and we don't see them for what they're doing? Is that what this is? Let me show you guys this before I play another video to prove to these guys that we know what we're doing. This is AD. It's a newspaper article in Netherlands. And they printed about this. They said Prime Minister Schoff requests father-in-law Boleos. This is the Prime Minister of Netherlands with Julius Maada Bio. This was a tough conversation that we're having about extraditing Boleos to Sierra Leone. So that is why when I see these videos of these guys saying they going after criminals and drug pushers, when we know they are the main operators, they are the ones that are importing these drugs, they are the ones that are allowing these drugs in and out of the country. They are setting up a Northerner brothers and sisters to use them as a scapegoats to prove a point that these are the people that are bringing the drugs, it's not them. But you Northwesterners, you're foolish to be able to understand that that is what is actually happening. You're too foolish to understand that. This is Julius Maada Bio at his farm in Tehun with Boleos and Agnes Bio in the community. But yet you guys are sitting there encouraging this drug trade. You're a Northwesterner. You know you're going to be used. It's only a matter of time. You're going to be prosecuted. We're going to see more of you guys being prosecuted because they're going to use you guys as a scapegoat. Let's watch this together.
Good. Okay.
Guys, you see that? That's Boleos. That's the drug dealer. That's Boleos right there, harvesting rice with Julius Maada Bio. See that? That's Agnes Bio. That's Julius Maada Bio. So when I see these, you know, for me it's the insult. So when I see these security guys, you know, coming here and telling us they're fighting drugs, when I see these drug videos, it's just so infuriating. It's pissing the hell out of me. But again, it's because we've allowed the Julius Maada Bio regime to take us for a ride. They feel like we are all a bunch of stupid fools. They feel like we don't know nothing. They think we're idiots. And this is how they've seen us, and this is how they've evaluated us. So at the end of the day, that's why they continue to do what they're doing. But every time I see these videos of these security guards coming out here,
is to say that now we not just let this thing so. Why person for in first place forget the guts for attempt for use of airports for traffic drugs and give bad name to the country?
can you imagine if all of these people can come together and say enough is enough? Let's go after Maada Bio for him to remove the drug dealer here, and let's prosecute Agnes Bio because she's dating a drug dealer who's wanted by the world. Can you imagine? That would be the day Sierra Leone's reputation will be revived forever. These people are chasing Northwesterners. If you're a Northwesterner, you're involved in the trade, it's up to you. Keep doing what you do. They're going to use you guys as a scapegoat. They're going to use you guys to prove to the world that it's not them. And you are falling for that nonsense. Those guys at the airport, they were set up for that $20,000 because they had to make a point and prove a point. So they set them up. 4 of them, Adam Spitaseri, Abubakar Kamara, Lawrence Dumbuya, Mohamed Lamin, they were set up. Simply put, it was a setup because they have to get rid of them, for one, and they have to use Northwesterners as the people that are involved in the drug trade in Sierra Leone when we know that the drug trade in Sierra Leone emanates from the top. Julius Maada Bio is aware. He's with the biggest drug lord who's dating his daughter. So we all know, and we've all seen that. And we all understand exactly what is going on. We've seen the play. We get it. But then you have these hypocrites, you know, that are out there acting as if we don't know what is actually happening. And that is the sad part for me. That is the sad reality for people like myself. So if you're a Northwesterner and you're part of this drug trade, you are going to be the sacrificial lamb. They're going to use you guys to prove to the world that it's not them. Who knows if these guys are even going to serve their prison times? Who knows if it's only just a game? Because at the end of the day, they have the numbers, they have the names, and these names are Northwesterners. There's no Southeasterners dealing in drugs in Sierra Leone. No, the airport is not staffed by Southeasterners. There are no Southeasterners at the Lunge airport. There's no Southeasterners, at the ports of entry, Waikiki. No, it's only Northwesterners. So you guys are going to pay the price for it. If you're stupid, remain stupid. Stay away from this drug thing. Let them do what they're doing. Don't fall for the money. Don't be a part of it, because you're going to be used as the sacrificial lamb to prove their point that it's not them, it's you. And tomorrow, 5-10 years from now, when we tell them that, hey, it was Julius Maada Bio who was with the biggest drug lord, his daughter Agnes Bio was dating Boleos, and they were both in Sierra Leone, and the whole time our people are dying, they'll tell you, no, it's not, we were not responsible for Kush. We're only responsible for cocaine, because cocaine is making millions of dollars for us, and that's how we're supporting the SLPP government, and that's how we pay some salaries sometimes, and that's how we're going to sponsor future elections. You guys need to pay attention if you're a Northeasterner or Northwesterner. You are the people that are going to be arrested for these drugs. No Southeasterners. Maybe now that I've put out this video, they'll start arresting Southeasterners as well. But of course, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just for the camera. They show us, hey, those people are never prosecuted, because we don't know what is actually happening. We don't have serious civil society organizations that are standing in place for us to monitor what is actually happening. But you Northwesterners, you are going to be used because you're foolish, you're stupid, and you don't know, you have no common sense. They're going to use you as a scapegoat to hide their own imperfections and the fact that they are the drug traders and the drug dealers and the drug barons in Sierra Leone, because some of the top kingpin of this drug trade in Sierra Leone are Southeasterners, predominantly in powers of authority and positions of authority in that country. The police agencies, the security agencies, these are the people that are letting these drugs come through our ports, and they are all Southeasterners. However, you, the Northwesterners, they're going to make you the petty crimes, the petty thieves. They're going to pour their attention on the petty thieves and not the big drug lords and the big drug barons. You're going to be used as a scapegoat, and they'll destroy you. That is even if all of these matters are prosecuted. But you guys would learn your lesson with time, and you'd understand exactly where we're going with this. However, let me switch to another topic that I really want to talk about, because I don't have to prove to you guys about Julius Maada Bio and Boleos anymore. That is a sacrosanct fact the world knows, so that's okay. I just want to call the attention of my Northwesterner brothers and sisters. Stay away from that drug trade and focus and pay attention. You guys should be keeping notes, taking notes of the people that are involved, so when the time comes for prosecution, we know who to go after. But we know all of these cases that are being put on your heads with Northwesterner names, we know they're using you as a scapegoat. The people of Sierra Leone understand that. They they're using it like a scapegoat for they able for push the narrative that it's not them pushing the drugs, but it's you guys that are Northwesterners. But they're doing it silently and secretly. So it takes smart people like myself to see that and come and tell you guys that this is what is actually happening. Beatrice Mansari, Abu Adams Peter Seri, Abubakar Kamara, Lawrence Dumbuya, Mohamed Lamin, all of these people are Northwesterners, either from the north or from the west, one way or the other. You never hear them calling, Southeasterner names. Bring the evidence if you have it of them prosecuting Southeasterners on the drug trade. But no, they're coming after Northwesterners. All right, guys, I want to share this documentary with you guys by Brother Tyson Conte in McKinney. I think it's very crucial for us to share this, because I want you guys to see it and go watch it, because I'm not going to play much of it, because I know for copyright thing they'll just cut off my video, and I don't want them to cut off my video because it's copyrighted by BBC, because Brother Tyson Conte has been doing a phenomenal work with the BBC, putting these documentaries together. The Kush pandemic, he was the first person that pointed it out. But this is a very sad and pathetic, civilization. When you hear the testimonies in this documentary done by Brother Tyson, you would ask yourself what kind of world we're living in. But this is what happens when we've not been able to get our people to be civilized. You can see that it's the society is it's loose for all. Everybody can just do what they want to do. Everybody regulates themselves. There's no regulations, proper regulations in a nation. That's what happens, but it's very sad. Let's listen to the intro here real quick, and we'll take it from there. Actually, Before I do the intro, let me not do the intro. I'm just going to take you to a particular section that I'm interested in, that I really want to talk about. And it's this section here. Let's listen to this.
We are traditionalists and we are symbol of our culture. We have been in existence since the existence of the country. Because we don't know the conventional medicine. For example, my father is alive now. You give my father injection, he refuses. He depends on herbs.
Right.
Sierra Leone has over 45,000 traditional healers compared to less than 6,000 who practice Western medicine. Sierra Leone has over 45,000 traditional healers compared to less than 6,000 who practice Western medicine. Sierra Leone has over 45,000 traditional healers compared to less than 6,000 who practice Western medicine. Sierra Leone has over 45,000 traditional healers compared to less than 6,000 who practice Western medicine.
That is what I want you guys to hear. That was one thing that stood out with me. And of course, this documentary is about, people being killed and used as rituals for politicians and other unscrupulous individuals. And you have Sierra Leoneans. And again, all of the people prosecuted that were committing these crimes, that were suspected of being ritualists, Northwesterners or Northerners. Again, right? And I'm not faulting, our brother, because he's doing a phenomenal job. When you watch the documentary, you'll see that it even affected his own family. Fatu was killed by a ritualist. It removed all of her tooth out of her mouth. So he suffered. And thanks to Brother Tyson Conte, but I'm just pointing out that again. But we know these kinds of things is happening again in the southeastern part of the country. We've seen terrible videos. It's across Sierra Leone, but for the focus of his documentary, it was mostly in the north, because that's where he has control. I'm sure that's the terrain he's familiar with. So no fault for the brother. The fact is, this is something that is going on across Africa, and they have to point it out. But what I wanted to share with you was that small snippet right there, where a brother points out the fact that Sierra Leone has over 45,000 traditional healers, claiming to be traditional healers, and less than 6,000 professional medical doctors. That is the area I wanted to point out. And when you hear stuff like that, it tells you how much work we have to do. How much work we have to do. It's a lot of work. So, 45,000 traditional healers. Can you imagine if we had 45,000 medical practitioners across Sierra Leone? We would have no untimely death. Our maternal mortality rate would, drastically reduce. Our infant mortality rate would reduce drastically, because we have enough doctors per the population. So probably for every 10 Sierra Leonean, there would be, a doctor. Let me do the math real quick. Let's do the math together. If we have 45,000 professional medical staff, it doesn't matter, doctors, nurses, professionals, medical professionals, right, in Sierra Leone. If we take 8 million population. So would have at least, for every 178 patient would have a doctor. For every 170 patient would have one doctor. If we do 8 million by 45,000, but we have 45,000 traditional healers as opposed to less than 6,000 professionals, medical professionals, to provide what our people need. And then you have politicians. There's certain areas where you get to this, and you hear what these people are using. Politicians and business people are actually contracting the services of these terrible barbaric individuals to catch people like frogs and kill them for whatever body parts that they want. But again, that snippet of that area there, 45,000 traditional healers compared to at least 6,000, less than 6,000 medical professionals in Sierra Leone. This is how much work we have to do. This is how much work we have to do. The priorities are out of place. You have a president who's constantly flying. Julius Matabio constantly flying, having a private jet just sitting, waiting for him. I think it's Brother Reggie who has been pointing out the fact that he has spent over $150 million just this, traveling a private jet. Just the cost of the charter, not everything else. Over 150 million pounds. Yet in Sierra Leone, Dr. Wale died because we didn't have a CT scanner. Because even the medical professionals that we have right now, they don't have a chance to survive if something catastrophic happens to them. If they're faced with a catastrophic event, they would not survive because we don't have what it takes to protect our own medical professionals, yet alone the people of Sierra Leone. So if you do the math again, for a population of 8.5 million, divided by at least, I'm going to say 6 million, 6,000 medical practitioners. So for a population of 8 million, you divide that by 6,000. So let's see how many, the ratio of citizens per medical practitioner. So in Sierra Leone currently, we have 1,400 patients for every one doctor. That is assuming if all of these are 6,000 doctors, medical doctors, right, in various fields. Physicians, let's say physicians specifically that you can go to today, you're having some issues. Let's assume. So it's 1,416, call it 1,417 people per one doctor in Sierra Leone. Whereas for the traditional healers, we have 45,000, which is 174. So for every one Sierra Leonean, we have, for every one, traditional healer, we have 174 Sierra Leoneans. So one traditional healer can take care of 174 Sierra Leoneans. Compare that to 1,417 Sierra Leoneans to one doctor. This is why people don't have access to medical care. They don't have access to health care. So when you look at these, you hear the story. Let's listen to this one part of this guy talking about what he does, the kind of work that he does. Let's listen to this. I want you guys to see this so you guys can understand what we're talking about. But again, you have to go watch this documentary yourself, the whole 9 yards.
Killings as candidates try to gain advantage over their rivals.
Listen to this.
Reported that when elections occur, there is an increase in ritual killings as candidates try to gain advantage over their rivals. Kanu wants to know how he can help with our investigators' political ambitions.
You can almost type Sarah Wandilita, but who do you want to put on Sarah? I don't know. So I know about step of Sarah Wandil, who do you want to know? Although I don't know, but I want to know from you. Okay. They say I forgot woman, a right hand, and a right foot. Then we go able to do work with the right hand and the right foot. Now you want? Yes, sir. Because normally,
guys, this is how backward we are, man. We got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. That guy is talking casually about human lives. Politicians are involved. And we all know the politicians. How many of them have killed citizens in Sierra Leone just because of their political ambitions? Former presidents, current presidents, ministers, members of parliament. How many of them are involved in this trade? This is undercover. This guy is talking about politicians. In Sierra Leone, for every 1,417 people, citizens, we only have one doctor to take care of them. That is assuming we have 6,000 medical practitioners. But yet, traditional healers, you have a lot of the fake ones. It is said that there is over 45,000 across Sierra Leone. In a society that is moving, where there is advancement, do you think people would have time for traditional healers? Where there's 24-hour electricity, people have jobs, they have things to do, they have places to go. Do you think traditional healers would have a place in society? Hey, don't get me wrong. Tradition is tradition. Nepal, as an example, I saw a video of a guy who was there when the Nepal youths overthrew the government, removed the government from power. They have their temples. People go there. Nobody's sacrificing people's lives. Nobody's going missing because of some sacrifices that they're making. But look across West Africa. That is what is actually happening. People getting killed by this guy. There's also the story of a lady called Fatou, which is Tyson's own family member, that was killed. As sad as it is, listen to this.
Lives near the road and leads me to the spot where Fatmata's body was discovered.
Naya, the scene take place of the young girl.
They don't even hide herself.
They not even put her in a place where they feel safe or any other.
Yeah.
Just like when they drive a vehicle or a car and shoot somebody pass.
You go. I understand saying that police them take the car. Another witness then comes to talk to me. Night watchman Francis Kamara was there the morning Fatmata was found.
Stand back 6:30 morning. I can't see where the body lay down. So
It's terrible, guys. Then listen to this other guy. This not the guy that where they kill people, the sacrifice. Edina Waterloo, na the boss man. He say get powerful voice where he talk no more man they listen to her. Anything you want, any mortal man pass where you want, they give you. This is the guy.
This Black Friday gift cleans your retainer at the touch of a button.
Let's listen to
no more
this.
brushing or tablets.
This is what is actually happening.
Ago, our team of
It's terrible. Listen to him.
So Monday say, man, okay, give me the full kit. Yeah, now this whole thing. And cable access a back for you. They know how you need. You work.
Our investigator tries to find out more about Idara's network, hoping to find new leads.
How one can go about and forget the raw one?
No, I'm not going to tell you the secret. The fruit. Not only. See dents in there, not a woman. Latterly. Not a woman. Down then the couch. Down, please.
As our undercover investigator leaves Idara, a second meeting is arranged.
Guys, you have to watch this documentary yourself, okay? It's I'm gonna show you guys the web page so you can see where it's at. Let me show you guys. You have to find this yourself and you have to watch it. This is let me see something here, guys. I really want you to see this. I want you to see this, guys. So right here, all right, BBC News Africa. This is the channel that you can watch it from. Go on YouTube, BBC News Africa, Money Rituals, Africa's Deadliest Taboo. BBC Africa documentary by Brother Tyson. But of course, Brother Tyson works for the BBC. He does these videos and sort of sells them to the BBC. And he's looking for an executive producer, by the way. I know it's going to take a certain amount of money, but hopefully, in fact, I'll talk to a few people and see if they'll be willing to support him because he wants to own these videos and then, sort of sell to the BBC or has control, at least has a percentage of these videos for the rest of his life. But once he does these videos, he get paid upfront. I think that's it. He doesn't get back royalties or nothing out of these videos that he's creating. Everything is owned by the BBC. But if he has an executive producer, then he'll be able to, take charge of these documentaries. So that is what I want to share with you guys. It's sad. It's the reality of what we got going on. And all because we're backward. I keep saying it again. If we have a country where civilization is present, people have things to do, People are educated enough to understand that, you know, even the traditional, we believe in the leaves and this and that. Yes, we still do. We want to keep it that way. But the way it's going, and with the ritualists killing people because of political, you know, politicians' ambitions and stuff like that, that is something that needs to be checked. They should not be killing people. We want to be able to use our natural herbs because we believe in the natural herbs. You know, we still believe in, you know, the cassava leaves that we eat. These are all leaves, right? Potato leaves, those are all leaves. We process them, we eat them. We believe in the natural. I want to live my life, like I always say it again. I really want to have like a farm, you know, eat everything natural. You know, what is grown on the farm is what I eat. Nothing artificial, nothing processed, and nothing like that. But having these ritualists, these barbaric individuals killing people because politicians or other unscrupulous individuals come and say we want body parts, that is a fundamental problem and it should be frowned at. I think it should be frowned at, you know? And that is what I want to talk about. So it's two of those things. The drugs, you Northwesterners, take note of that. And you know, what is actually happening with Brother Tyson's documentary about the ritual killings in Sierra Leone. It has to stop. Since I was a small boy growing up, this has been going on for generations, man. It has to stop. Enough is enough. But it's going to take leadership, all right? And until we have that leadership, nothing is happening. All right. So thank you. I have somewhere to go. You know, these holidays, it's mostly family. Got some runnings to do here, but I just want to share this with you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, and share. Let me know what part of Africa you're joining me from, and so I can learn a little bit about you, and maybe I can bring your countries up for discussion here, so we can talk about some of the issues that are affecting Africa, because the issues across Africa, pretty much they're all the same. You know, and we have to do what we have to do to shine a light in this, put the spotlight on these issues so we can resolve them as best as possible. And kudos to the Guinea-Bissau troops out there, the Guinea-Bissau people. I wish you well. I hope these soldiers will do what's right by you all so that you can have the Niger or the Burkina Faso, the Ibrahim Traore kind of leadership to advance the lives of 2.2 million people. Come on, with the amount of bauxite that you guys have, the deposit that you have, it's enough to take care of 2.2 million people in Guinea-Bissau. So good luck to you all, and we'll be following what's actually happening over there. Okay, so bye everybody. Thank you guys, and thank you to Brima, whatever that person's name is. Salon. This I think he's saying the Northerners are the one bringing the drugs into the country. Hey, Aisatu Bintas, he said, thank you, my sister. And then Salon Women 786. Even the blind can see right through the Bio Cabal charade fight against drugs. Yeah, guys. I mean, I can give you guys articles upon articles upon, you know, articles just exposing, you know, the Bio regime. There was this particular article. Shucks, what time is it now? Okay, 12 o'clock. All right, let me see. I have a few more minutes. Let me see. I want to share this with you all. Let me share this article with you guys, because I don't think people really pay attention to what is actually happening. Let's read this article together. This article came out by the Africa Confidential a couple of months ago. All right, and I'm sure it was in February. I'm sure a lot of people would have passed over there. Why is this not opening up? Oh, I needed to click in that. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let me see. Let me do the PDF. Okay. Let me share this with you guys. I want you guys to see this. All right. We're going to read this together. Again, thanks to Africa Confidential. This is something that came out in February that exposed, you know, the fact that Boleos is in Sierra Leone at the time, right? But there is this section that I want to share with you guys. I'm gonna put these this link is too long. All right, I'm gonna share this link in the chat, okay? So you guys can read it for yourself. All right, I'm gonna share this link in the chat so you can go and read it for yourself. But there's this area I want to point to you guys that Sierra Leoneans have missed. This was since February. I don't think Sierra Leoneans saw a lot of this, and I really want to expose this part so you guys can see what's going on here. All right, right in here, It say cocaine smugglers have long been sending the drug to Europe from South America via West Africa, including through Sierra Leone. Account volume 48, number 13. In July 2008, they had this whole thing. I'll leave that with where they said Honorable Kawasi was involved. They mentioned that because they wanted to build the case. But fast forward to October 2023. When authorities in Antwerp intercepted a shipment of 7.7 tons of cocaine hidden between soya beans. And this is what I want you guys to pay attention to, because I don't think Sierra Leoneans really understand the gravity of the drug situation in Sierra Leone, for a lot of you guys that don't follow. This was October 2023. 7.7 tons. When they found 2.9 tons of cocaine in Guinea-Bissau, they thought it was big. 7.7 tons of cocaine hidden between soya beans. That's how much cocaine came from Sierra Leone. 7.7 tons of cocaine. What they did, they hid the cocaine in the soya beans packet exported from Sierra Leone. The first in a series of similar incidents. Last December, Liverpool-based criminals were sentenced to long prison terms after importing 140 million pounds worth of cocaine hidden in bags of gari that came from Sierra Leone. 140 million pounds of cocaine hidden in bags of gari from Sierra Leone. I don't think Sierra Leoneans understand. Again, and that is why I say, when I see these useless investigators in Sierra Leone coming here and sharing videos about them, going after us Northwesterners, particularly so, that they've caught them taking bribes of $20,000 and this and that. When Marabio, this in soya beans, packaged in Sierra Leone, gari packaged in Sierra Leone, they're putting the cocaine in these to export, making Sierra Leone the hub. On September 20, let's keep going. On September 20, let me see if I could point this out for you guys so you guys can track with me. On September 20 last year, a private jet with a fake registration number landed without permission at Freetown. It carried 4 Mexicans and 1 Dutch national who initially refused to submit their documents. And this is very crucial and important. When you look at Guinea-Bissau, I'm going to share this article again with you from Guinea-Bissau, right? I want you guys to see this. When they had a similar situation, and they had some, right here, you see, this was Guinea-Bissau. All 5 of the crew members were detained, including the pilot. Amongst those in custody are 2 Mexicans, 1 Colombian, 1 Ecuadorian, and 1 Brazilian. Then come back to Sierra Leone. It carried 4 Mexicans and 1 Dutch national. So you see, this is the operation. The Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, they've allowed their countries to be the hub for the drug operations in West Africa. So that is what is actually happening. So this was a report from Sierra Leone. The captain, let's continue to read now. This was in September last year, which was 2022, as to this report. The captain, who claimed not to speak English, later explained that he had been paid $20,000 for a trip from Liberia to Mexico with the men. All right? And then I have these my brothers in Sierra Leone, Northerners, who were set up recently, right? They were set up, and let me share that with you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. These guys were set up by the I'm sure by the government, one way or the other, so that they can be looked at as, let's listen to this together. I want you guys to listen to these 4 names, just in case you're just joining me. But these are the people.
Left this thing so. Why person in first place forget the guts for attempt for use of airports for traffic drugs and give bad name to the country?
When the president and his daughter has a child for Boleos, the biggest drug lord. Remember that, right? But you see these hypocrites? This is what we have in Sierra Leone. But listen to the names of the Northerners and how much they bribe them. $20,000. That's like a common thing. $20,000. Listen to this.
It must be say we'll get some insiders them where they support. Now we'll do a cleanup.
We get insiders. He's saying we have insiders. Yes, you have the biggest, the illegal president of Sierra Leone. He's the biggest insider that you have in the drug trade in Sierra Leone. Agnes Bio, the president's daughter, is another big insider that you have. The chief of police, the chief of all of these drug agencies, all of these people, security agencies, are part of the trade. These are the insiders that you have. But listen to this.
We report, but we investigate. We are not in a hurry. And when we don't investigate, we don't get several people that we custody. And they talk about 4. Adams Peter Seri, when then the terminal building manager. We get Abubakar Kama, security manager, all airport. They will get Lawrence Dumbuya, na the baggage scanner, na level 3, the highest level. And one Mohamed Lamin of the financial intelligence agencies. We don't arrest them because we don't get reasonable grounds for suspect say they collude, aid and abet that Abid there for try for smuggle cocaine through the airport for Guinea country back then.
Right.
And so far, as I say, I know they discuss the nitty-gritties of the evidence, not for the courts, now they are the presenter. But suffices to say that we don't get some admissions from the suspect. In fact, they don't tell we see the money where they pay them now $20,000.
Thank you.
And then tell me how they Sheba would I get 5, would I get 4?
So that is what is actually happening. And I want you guys to understand what is going on in the country. So these guys are playing footsie, saying that they are prosecuting drug dealers and this and that and all that nonsense. But look at what is actually happening. Look at what is actually happening. Julius Marabio, who is illegally occupying presidency, is there. But yet we're having all kinds of shipments. All kinds of shipments. See? Let's read this again together. Ask for comments. Let's read this. Ask for comments on the incident. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration told Africa Confidential at the time it does not comment on ongoing investigations. On 14 January 2025, Guinean authorities found 7 suitcases with 180 kilograms of cocaine and $100,000 in cash in a Sierra Leonean embassy vehicle. The ambassador, Alibami Bangura, was recalled to Freetown, but the Guinean government would not let him go. We hear and only referred when the Sierra Leone Foreign Ministry, Timothy Kaba, came in person to bring him back. 5 days later, the Sierra Leonean police discovered an abandoned custom-built mini submarine of a type cocaine smugglers have used to transport cocaine from larger ships to the shore or between countries at Black Johnson Beach. Guys, this is what is actually happening. So I don't know if you guys are really like following what is actually happening, but this was a report done by President, Africa Confidential, showing President Julius Marabio, illegal president of Sierra Leone, who is now the father-in-law of Boleos. His daughter, Agnes Bio, is married to Boleos, has a child by Boleos. They were engaged. I have the video, of course, of, these people dancing, dancing and playing music for Era Star, for Boleos and Agnes Bio. We have the videos of them being in clubs and stuff like that. We've seen all of that. They were at the farm. We saw them in the church. Right? Everybody knows that. Hmm? Let me share this with you guys. I want you guys to see this. In here is Boleos, all right? And this is the video of Alusain Kane, who was the chief immigration officer. I heard Marabios fired him recently because another video showed up. So I'm going to show you that video so you can see what I'm talking about. Boleos is entrenched in Sierra Leone. He's protected by Marabio because, again, Agnes Bio is the picture here, right? What is happening? Why is Agnes Bio not sticking an interview? So even if Marabio has fired Alusain Kane as the chief immigration officer, you see Boleos there? Where is that? Where is his daughter, Agnes Bio? Why is Agnes Bio not taking interviews? Let's listen. Do you see Boleos right there? Watch this real quick. Remember, in Sierra Leone at nightclubs, right? At nightclubs, and yet these people are telling us all kinds of nonsense. Hmm? They're telling us all kinds of nonsense about investigating this and that and all that foolishness. What are they investigating? What are they investigating? Huh? So I want to point these things out to you guys so you guys can understand and see exactly what it is and have an idea of what we're talking about. But this is the reality of what we're dealing with in Sierra Leone. You know? And I want you to listen to him as he dabbles around, trying to. Anyways, let me leave it here, guys. I got to go now. All right? Bye-bye, everybody. Have a beautiful day. All right. Thank you, Mustafa. Hey, brother Mustafa. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Adama, yeah. Thank you, guys. All right.